If you're not attractive, get money. That makes you sexy. You know
People would be saying, how can they support the channel? Chiso, buy Chiso. I've got tops, got hoodies, I've got the Dragon Ball Z tees, like the Pain and Full Star tees. You lot can support, buy some of the merch. I'll be able to churn out more content. This one I'm just waiting by myself for the moment, and I'll bring out more colors. Please support.
Some of it is coding, right? And I'll speak of here in this Western Hemisphere, United States, and the Caribbean. Now, think about it. We were on plantations, right? Some of us was in the house with some of them. I don't come from that lineage, you know what I'm saying? So they was like, them dirty black, y'all, stay out there, stay out there. I'm telling, as soon as somebody, you tell, you get rewarded, you know what I'm saying? Outside in the field, we like, them sellouts, them, you know what I'm saying? And then we looking at each other like, you dirty, you stink. Yeah, I don't want to be like you. I want to be like them white people in there. Like, I want to be in a house, right? We hated the house, but we wanted to be in there. You know what I'm saying? We hated us. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. And we looked at each other and seen us, right? And that never got programmed out. And we never had, like, every one of our teachers, our leaders, literally have been killed. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Unjustly. So we've been, all right, are you free now? I guess. Go ahead, you're free, right? You're not really. And we're like, well, what do we do? Crazy. And we never had any guidance getting out of it. And this is what, it's a lot of, so many problems in the black community, black families, all of this, because we don't respect women. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. We weren't taught, bro, I gotta lie, I can't lie. Growing up, I was taught like, not like somebody said, you gotta do this, but the observations that I made was like, you could lie to girls, it don't matter what you tell them. You know what I'm saying? Get as many girls as you can, right? Marriage? You know what I'm saying? So, like my spiritual father, Minister Farrakhan, he's like, look, there's no dating, courtship, marriage. You marry that woman. And I had to learn this later, that a woman is like the most divine thing on the planet. If you look at it like this, you know, they say like the woman's dominion is over the children, right? A man's dominion is over the world, right? But that child becomes a man at some point, right? So that woman is the ultimate, you know what I'm saying? That's the God, right? In the different sense of the term. So it's like, why would we disrespect them? Why would we f a girl and not, like, I remember I had sex with this girl, I was young. And my sister's like, you gonna marry her? I was like, no. She's like, well, why would you have sex with her? The way she said it, I was like, you're right. You know what I'm saying? Like, you could get her pregnant, why would you do that? You know what I'm saying? So it's like, now we have, like we were talking about earlier, the podcast that I was on, there's a whole generation of men that seem to hate women, you know what I'm saying? Because we were never taught, I don't have that, none of us had that problem because we never had problems with women, but we also was never taught, how much we should honor them, respect them, protect them.
Then where did we learn it? Because I was talking to you. We were just talking about it, and I said, I don't know why I love women and treat them with respect. I'm not disrespect. Obviously, when you were younger, you might have had a different attitude. But where did we learn that? Because you said that no one taught us. No one did teach us.
So I learned it from my mother, me loving my mother, loving my stepmother, loving my sister, and loving my grandmother. You know what I'm saying? I happen to be surrounded by incredible women that was strong, beautiful, sweet, talented, all of that stuff, you know? So but I'm lucky that I had that, you know what I'm saying?
That's what I was saying to you. I said, right, I've never had bad instances with women.
Yeah,
so
to be disrespectful and to just,
all my exes,
or see them as lower, I've just not, I don't get that.
Like all my exes I'm friends with, like even if we don't hang regular, we're still cool. And even I grew up in a house where I had 3 older cousins. So like they were like my big sisters, and down the road I had 4 older cousins, then 1 younger girl cousin. Then around the corner I had family friends who were like the same thing, but it was just girls. So I got so used to being around that and learning all the personalities that when I've grown up now, it was easy for me to, from the jump, to get women. Because like I was saying to you earlier, where my mama said to me, if you're trying to get a girl you like, you could show a slight interest, but don't be too overly on it. Just be cool, just be you, just chill back. And she's like, you stand out of the group. So when everyone else is running like hyenas and lions chasing after, she's like, if you're chilled, what you want is gonna come to you. So I had this ingrained in me from young. So as I've grown, I see it all the time. We might be out and I might clock onto someone and I'm like, I might look and I'm like, she likes me. But I don't have to overly,
So, do you know what's interesting as well? Because earlier when we were talking about it, because basically, obviously you're out here in the US, so in the UK, Fresh Fit podcast gets a lot of like coverage, but for negative reasons. As in, I see a lot of women on Twitter saying, this is disgusting, this is what I mean about men talking about women, whatever. And we get the impression from Fresh and Fit podcast that these are guys who haven't had women. So before the camera started rolling, I said to Mike, I remember you were on there, and kind of they didn't say anything to you because they seemed like there was a genuine respect for Mike on the camera, whatever. Even in London, like there's so many times when I speak to girls and they're like, I was on a date with a guy and he was like, how do you know Marvin? On the date with the guy. I swear to God, bro, I've heard it so many times. Like, and she's like, how? And she's like, because, for example, mutuals on Instagram, you might see, imagine a girl's talking to a guy and she's like, you follow Mike, how do you know Mike? Why are you asking about
Bro, hey, Sim, Mike, you know this is a daily occurrence for me. I get messages, I get messages and screenshots from girls saying, guys are like, I can't chat to you because you talk to them. Like, what? Like,
it's so weird.
Yo,
I'm like,
it happens. It happens, bro.
Friends who are women, like sometimes, I laugh because I know loads of beautiful women. So people like can't get the concept that you could actually be friends with women. So in their head, they're thinking that, because I know loads of women, that I must have been through all of them. And I'm thinking to myself, no, I just know loads of women. And because I do events as well, I PT, all of that, I meet women all the time. So I'm like, you lot can't take the concept that everyone you might think is nice might not be nice to me. Like you said a comment earlier on where you mentioned about there's been 10 out of 10 and little things where you after they've left your life, you thought, I could have, you know what I mean? I could have dealt with things slightly different. And I said to you that I've got issues where I realized that I'm so picky that someone could say one thing and I might have thought she's so nice, but just that one thing there's like, nah, I can't really mess with her.
But you know what I mean? You know, it's just sometimes.
I know that's my fault.
No, but Chiz, you know, it's sometimes in life, unfortunately, when you have too much choice, it can spoil things. Like, for example, if you go to a trainer shop and the only thing they sell is Air Force and something else, really and truly, you got a choice of, let me just pick up the Air Force. If you go there and they've got every single train in the world,
You might not get anything.
You're thinking,
Or you want to grab too many.
Bro, when I go on Netflix, sometimes I'm scrolling, and I fall asleep because I haven't watched anything. I'm like,
Same.
what do I watch?
Or I'll finish my food before I pick something.
Whereas if it's normal TV, on the pick,
it was what it was. You had to choose. You had to put it on.
That's it. You know what I'm saying? So that's what it is sometimes.
But
the choice.
But do you think as well, like I was saying before, like say like the previous generation before us, where our parents, like if they grew up, let's say like they grew up in like Brooklyn, for instance, but they might only know 10 blocks. Their work is down the road. It's a walking distance. They don't go beyond those 10 blocks. Whereas now, due to social media, I know someone all the way over here.
Bro, it's crazy. Like, I speak to girls in Houston.
It's like you said it to me the other day. You goes, raw. Like, you know so much girls in America and you don't even live here.
Yeah, it's crazy.
And I was just like, I just do. You know what I mean? And it's become a pattern where, like even the other week where one of my friends, she's from Houston, she's messaged and she's like, my friends are in London, they don't know what to do. Do you mind taking them out and showing them places? Then you've messaged me and you said, my friend is in London, she doesn't know what to do. And it's become a weekly occurrence where someone meets me, they tell their friend, when you go to London, link up with them two, then it becomes domino effect. So all their friends now, I end up knowing all their circles from multiple states, the same area, whoever it is, then it just grows. My network's just going boom, boom,
I want to segue back here, but the thing is, it's like, I find it interesting when Mike made the point about the resentment, because remember, sometimes in life, I try to look at things from other people's points of view and perspectives, because I don't like to just be me. So even in the podcast, you might hear me, even though I'm like quite vocal in my opinions, I always try and say, yeah, but what if?
Yeah,
You know what I'm saying?
yeah.
So for me, it's interesting because it's kind of like, I've never looked at it from a dude's point of view that doesn't get girls. As in like how you see the world. Because remember, like, imagine every single time you try and speak to someone, they like someone else. It's gonna,
That must be painful.
I don't agree with their methods and how they are, but it would weigh on you. That every girl you want, you can't get.
See, my message to them is like this: I don't relate, but I'm an intelligent person, and I can observe a situation and identify a problem and fix the problem. And it's like work on yourself. You know what I'm saying? Work harder. Look, if you're not attractive, get money. That makes you sexy. You know
You know what's funny?
Get your money.
Like, I remember like seeing a clip of Kevin Samuels before, and he was like, oh, if you're a guy who's struggling to get women and blah, 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 he goes, you shouldn't be online watching everything for hours. He goes, go work 60 hours a week and come offline and blah, blah, blah. And I was just like,
let me tell you this. Let me tell the fellas this. Become intelligent. Women love a man with intellect. You know what I'm saying? Be funny.
be funny.
Be funny. You know what I'm saying? Just have some. Go to the gym.
Put everything that
Do all of these
puts you
things.
ahead. Like even down to little things where the other day I said to you, before we came out, I went to the dentist, to the hygienist, and every time I go there, the hygienist woman is always like, you come here 3 times a year. Like, I said to you, you only need to come once a year because you look after your teeth properly. I said, it's not about I need to come once a year. I said, the reason why I never have no issues with my teeth or all my wisdom teeth over there, I haven't got a chip, I goes, it's due to the frequency of me coming here. So she's like, yeah, but you still, like, every time I see you, you still floss daily and you do this and do that. And I said, I know what my main market likes to see. Like, I'm like, if you see all my pictures, my teeth is always fully showing. Like, I never hide my teeth, so I'm always smiling. So I'm like, I know that's my winning formula. So I said, that's my money maker. So I tried to keep that.
There's a saying, I can't remember who said it. I always hear sayings, I can't remember who says it, but there's one person who said that you can only do a first impression once.
Yeah.
So for example,
you only get one. What was it?
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. I can't
one chance to make the
so
first
for example,
impression.
if I've seen Mike today for the first time, this is my impression of Mike. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Whereas if you just think, you know what, I can't be bothered. I've seen you that one time and you're looking maybe a 6, 5 out of 10. That's gonna stay with me. You can dress up another day, but I'm like, first impressions count. So when you're going somewhere, for example, you don't know who you're gonna see. Yeah. So that might be the day that you see the girl that you want and you're looking dusty.
Bro.
What now?
I'll give you an example.
Now you have to be like, oh, shit,
what
today,
I said to you earlier about, in regards to gym attire, and I was saying to you that I can't wear a certain...
You said, yeah.
Due to it doesn't fit my...
Yeah.
It doesn't fit my aesthetics. And it's not even me being funny with that. It's like, when I go to the gym, I probably got like over 100 pairs of tracksuits. I didn't realize they were piled up. So when I go to the gym, the man in my gym would always be like, oh, you come dressed proper, like, yeah, like your tracksuit matches, your kicks. I said, that's just me. And they're like, why? It goes back to what you just said. I said, sometimes I might come out the gym and I remember like, I was telling Shan, the person I said I was dating before, and she's a tiny bit older, and I said, rah, like for instance, yeah, like I realized that from back then, I've gone into her old workplace at the time, and I've rolled in there and I was dusty as hell.
Oh,
so
shit.
I've walked in, I've seen her, I've walked out, I've gone home. So I remember like when I actually was talking to her at that time, I said to her that, rah, I saw you one time, I was sweated out from the gym and I wasn't ready. So I said, first impressions, I didn't want you to see me like that. So I'd gone home, changed, showered, came back in, bought my fruit, bought what I needed to do and made sure I was on point. But from then I realized that, rah, you could be slipping at any time. So if I come out the gym and someone's walking past and you see me and I smile straight away, they're gonna figure, rah, he's come out the gym, he's looking, you know what I mean? So it's...
I want to talk to Mike about this whole what do you call it?
Polygamy, polyamory.
Okay, cool. So for example, like a lot of people I saw like a clip of some guy in like Iraq or something like that, and there was a white reporter, and it was like, they were laughing at the white guy, saying, you only have one wife. This brother was busting up. He was like top of his lungs. He's like, one wife. He's called all the other man them, yo, he only got one wife. These man like, busting up, yeah.
And now we're laughing as well. That's a funny
but
thing.
but in the West, it's, I mean, sorry, it's more, it's more frowned upon. It's actually against the law to get married to more than one person in the UK anyway.
Yeah, well, there are certain places you can.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So I'm saying to you, so like,
But it's not common.
how is it for you in terms of like, and how did you get to a space where you were saying to yourself, do you know what, I'm comfortable like this, and I don't care who knows. 'Cause you know, some people, like some man want to
Will
do
hide
that,
it,
you
yeah.
know, but they're like,
I actually have a friend and somebody, you know, that they have that kind of setup, but is not, they don't put it out there.
Okay, cool.
And I get it, because listen, if a man is trying to live fully in his truth and he loves his woman and she's not 100% with it, but she loves him and she wants to allow that, but she feels embarrassed, yeah, don't put it out there. I'm not mad at that at all. It's all about being firm in your truth, you know what I'm saying? And speaking to your partner, like openly, honestly, what you want, what you expect, what she want, all of that stuff. And then moving forward with it, you know? You know, it's not always easy, you know what I'm saying? Because listen, man, women's emotions are very complex, you know? And how we will be like, based on straight like logic and being practical and this is the rules and we said it, we agreed to it, boom, 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 boom. We have to listen to, and it's something I've been learning as of late, like to listen not to her words, but to watch her heart, to listen to what she's really saying, you know what I'm saying? So, and listen, I can't lie, like with my girl, it was her idea, you know what I'm saying? But there were certain times when she's saying, yeah, let's do this, but she's saying no. And here, you know what I'm saying? So these are things that a man has to be cognizant of and have that type of emotional intelligence to read those cues. You can't go by what they say all the time, you know what I mean? Now, as far as presenting it to other people, listen, like I said, I live in my truth. So when I'm out, like say we're on a date, I'm on a date with two girls. I remember going on a date with two girls with a good friend of mine and his wife. And they didn't know I was coming with two women. And, you know, we all had a good time. And the next day I met up with them for brunch, and his wife was like, I would have thought that was weird if you would have told me that in advance, but it seemed so cool, normal, loving, like it was awesome. You know what I'm saying? And people, like there has never been a woman that I've dealt with that I've talked about this with that wasn't down. Nobody. Now, there might be some objections out the gate. I don't like it. I'm not into that. I said, did it not work out for you? I've never done that. Then how would you know you don't like it? You're single now. You know what I'm saying? Whatever you're doing ain't working. You know, so, you know, you present it with love, with honesty. And here's the thing, like telling a woman that that's what you're into, that's what you want. Out the gate, you're gaining some trust. You're letting the walls down because you're being honest about that. Because the reality of it is here in America, not everybody, but most men who have options are exploring those options and not talking about it. They're lying about it, you know what I'm saying? And I feel like lying to somebody and they finding out later, that shit hurts. It's egregious. Like that. I remember a girl when I was young lied to me about her age. And when I found out, I was like, who are you? Like I was so distraught. You know what I'm saying? It's like, damn, you really held up a lie that long? You know what I'm saying? So, you know, men is having whole other families, you know what I'm saying? Or have a family and not telling.
I was gonna get to that topic.
Yeah.
So like before social media and all of that, for instance, the older African generation was notorious for that, where they could have one family here in one state, one in America, one, you know what I mean? They could have multiple places, and they'll exactly, you know what I mean? Like for instance, like my granddad had 8 women, so literally with my family, I could see the divide where my cousins, who we all share the same grandma, we're closer to each other. My other cousins, I'm not as close to them. And it's not by choice, it's due to when the war happened, their mums took their kids and went off. And my mom, my auntie that raised me over here, and my uncle, he's done well for himself, like he was like an ex-politician, etc. They were like literally like those street kids that you see like on the roadside selling things to survive. Then their uncle from a different state came and got them and literally raised them for a tiny bit. Then they just all kind of flourished by themselves. So they formed like their own little clique where they were always together, etc., etc. And they were like not far off age, while some of their siblings who their mums took them away are like a 10, 15-year gap. So the separation happened from that. So some of my cousins are slightly older than me, and they don't understand why I'm closer to these ones. But I'm like, if my mum, my uncle, and my aunt always hanging together, these are the people that I always see all the time. Even though I know you and your whole family, I wasn't around you to the same intensity I was around them. So I remember, like, for instance, when I moved to the UK, a few of my cousins they had like, why always him? And my aunt was like, this is my sister's son. My aunt and my mum were like best friends. So she was like, it had to be him. Because, you know, like the others, yeah,
sister.
Yeah, you know what I mean? And it was a thing that I originally went there on holiday. But I've asked her, I said, like, I've gone on holiday. I literally, my uncle, who's their younger brother, he was like, he would always send his kids on holiday, whether one year they would choose England, the next year they would choose America. That year happened to be England. So if it was the American year, I would have probably ended up here with my other aunt. So what's happened now is they've come out to England. Then before they've come out to England, my uncle has said, oh, you've done good in your year 6 exams before secondary school. So he's like, as a treat for you doing real good in school, I'm going to pay for you to go on holiday with my kids. So I've come over. Then on the last couple of days, I've said to my aunt, I don't want to go back. And she was like, oh, when you were 6 originally, you were meant to come out here. So when they moved to England, she was going to adopt me and take me out there. But my little brother was born at the time. So she said to me, ask my husband. Then if he says cool, ask your mum. So I've asked her husband. And he was like, yeah, you can stay here. So we phoned my mum and I said, oh, mum, I'm not coming back. And she was like, okay. No, she was like, okay. She was like, you said it from young that you're going to live in UK. And that was that. I ended up being in UK ever since.